It's a big day historically. It's a big day strategically for PepsiCo and emotionally in there. She's such a strong culture carrier and an inspirational figure. But yeah, you're exactly right. You wouldn't think that we would actually have gone down in 1 year 25% in the number of women CEOs. It's nice that in the aerospace industry, a very macho-heavy industry, we see the women are dominating at the major aerospace companies. But boy, yeah, Indra is going to be a big loss in the lineup there. But what a great tour of duty. You know, you think of Lloyd Blankfein stepping down this year, and of course a succession plan that ended last year with Jim McNerney at Boeing. There's a changing of the guard, a changing of the generation, I guess, of sorts. But Indra is as great as all those going out at the top. In fact, for you, Joe, it would be like Johnny Carson's exit. You know, is that going out on a high as opposed to his successor. And that's the way I think she's managed to prove.
For you, it'd be Jack Parr.
With Jack Parr, I remember it well. You know, I know. And Dick Cavett used to write for him, by the way.
Yeah.
So when you think about her tenure, and Jim was talking about this earlier, this idea that she fundamentally moved not just Pepsi, but arguably the whole industry towards healthier products. Is that the legacy? How do you think of her legacy?
That's a very important part of the legacy. I mean, she came in with a spectacular performance. This company has, up 162% in total shareholder return, towering over.
That's inclusive of dividends?
Yes, it's cumulative, yes.
Okay.
But it's been and she's created a new billion-dollar brand every other year, so they have now $22 billion brands. But aside from all the successes, and this happened to be an especially good year, earnings up 9% or so, is that you could do good and do well at the same time. They weren't antithetical. As we hear Larry Fink, and it's great that we celebrate him, and Andrew, you've written about it as soon as the news broke. You really broke the news for us about BlackRock's emphasis on social impact. She was there before anybody, looking at nutrition, looking at cutting the carbon footprint, looking at before anybody in the food business getting out of saturated fats, that they got out of that. And now in recycling is that they think in 4 or 5 years all their packaging will be either compostable or recyclable. And this is why recycling is actually down in terms of what people are doing.
Well, let's just go forward, though. What do you know about the new CEO?
He's of Spanish origin. He led some of the most geographically dispersed regions from much of Europe all the way through sub-Saharan Africa. And then last year in this time, he was made president. And a lot of people thought, aha, here's the succession plan. It was a trial assignment, and he soared through it. She's had several really great people in there. The CFO, Hugh Chapman, is fantastic. The guy in charge of Latin America, Laxman, they've said very strong bench strength in there. And I think she'll keep them all. The first thing she did when she took over was to go to see her rival for the job and say, what does it take to keep you in here? And he stayed for many years till he got another CEO position somewhere. But I think that it is remarkable to take a look at how you can balance doing good and doing well. And